Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like Kung Fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, and I just want it. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. It's my to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Oh baby. Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone.
G'day everyone, welcome to OzSTOL 2019, which was held at the Luskintyre Airfield in New South Wales, about a 2-hour drive north of Sydney. The Luskintyre was established in the late 70s to create a home for the Tiger Moth aircraft, but it's now home to a variety of other aircraft as well. Sunday mornings are usually the busiest period for the airfield and the best time if you want to come and visit, with lots of aircraft dropping in for coffees or breakfast.
From the start. And you did it right from the start.
This is my first OzSTOL event and it's definitely pretty cruisy. There's certainly no rushing, which is just what I needed spending some time back in Australia in between some of the big events like Sun and Fun and Oshkosh. With a steady flow of arrivals Saturday morning, once Bigsy, the event organiser, arrived, it was time to get things underway. Bigsy and Paul briefed the pilots on the rules and of course making sure that everyone stayed safe while competing. Once that was out of the way, we jumped straight into the competition because the spectators were starting to get a bit restless. I should explain exactly what OzSTOL is for anyone not familiar with the name and the terminology. Oz is for Aussie because this is the Australian national competition, and STOL stands for short takeoff and landing, and the rules are really quite simple. Rule 1. The main wheels start on the line. Tail draggers like this, or tricycle undercarriage with their nose wheel in front of the line. Then pilots take off in as short a distance as possible. Judges measure the distance while the next aircraft lines up, and the process repeats until we have a bunch of aircraft in the air getting ready for their landing attempt. Rule 2. Land on or after the line. Again, this applies to the aircraft's main wheels. Rule 3. Come to a complete stop. Some aircraft land a little longer, some aircraft land very short. If you do touch down before the line, unfortunately that attempt is disqualified. Your takeoff and landing distances are combined and the lowest distance wins. Simple. To keep it fair, competitors are also divided into classes based on aircraft type and weights, which I'll explain as we go. Now that you know the rules, let's get into it. The first class to fly was the Light Sport Experimental class, which catered for small, lightweight aircraft like Cubs, LSAs and various kit-built aircraft. third place was Gary with his Highlander with a combined score of 95 metres. In second place was Colin in his Javron Cub with a combined score of 87 metres. And in first place was Brett with his Super Stol with a combined score of 73 metres. Class 2 stepped it up in aircraft size, catering for certified aircraft up to 1150 kilos, such as the smaller Cessnas and Pipers. In third place was Jono with his Cessna 172, combined score of 158 metres. In second place was Stephen, also in a Cessna 172, just scraping ahead with a combined score of 157 metres. And in first place was Mark with his Cessna 150 tailwheel with a combined score of 145 metres. With the first two classes out of the way, there was a quick stop for lunch with a traditional Aussie sausage sizzle, and then straight back into it for the final two classes. The third class was exclusively for biplanes. In third place was Kevin with his SV4 with a combined score of 260 metres. In second place was Grant with his Tiger Moth with a combined score of 174 metres. And in first place in the biplane class was Charlotte, also in a Tiger Moth, with 133 metres. The final class for the day was the heavy touring, which covered certified aircraft above 1150 kilos, which included your larger Cessnas, your 180s, 182, 185s, etc. In third place was Jono with his Cessna 205, a combined score of 158 metres. In second place was Paul in his Cessna 185 with a combined score of 155 metres. And in first place was Hamish, also in a Cessna 185 with a combined score of 149 metres. After the competition finished, Paul Bennet put on an aerobatics display for some entertainment, and we're going to have a closer look at his aircraft in just a minute. G'day guys, here with Jet Bennet, son of Paul Bennet, and he's going to give us a look at his dad's Wolf Pits.
This is a Wolf Pits Pro, made in America by Steve Wolf. There's only 2 of these in the world. The other one is Sean Tucker's Wolf Pits, the Oracle Challenger. And this was originally Sean Tucker's first ever Wolf Pit, so this one was the first ever one that was built. It has a Lycoming IO 540, 3-bladed heart tool prop. This is a sighting device, so it helps when you're going vertical, you're looking on the horizon here. And when you're going 45, you're looking on the horizon here. And when Dad starts to know when he goes backwards, it just does that. This is the altitude. Just tells you how high you are, your airspeed, how fast you're going. This is what we call the trick stick. And this turns on and tells you your fuel flow, your engine temps, and all that sort of engine stuff. And then you got your radio here, and his sequence that he does in his display.
So there goes Paul. We had to cut the tour of the aircraft short a little bit because he's got to get to Maitland, but thank you very much, Chet, for giving us a look around the plane.
It's all good.
With the day coming to an end, the only thing left to do now is tell some worries around the campfire.
Lock up your wife, lock up the back door and run for your life. The man is back in town, so don't you mess me around, 'cause I'm TNT, I'm dynamite, TNT, and I win the fight, TNT, I'm the power of love, TNT, watch me explode.
G'day guys, got a bit of a treat for you this morning. Dean here's offered to take me up in his 1940 Cub behind us, so he's going to get the plane ready, I'll get the cameras sorted and we'll go for a bit of a fly around Luskintyre.